All right. Hey there. So I'm trying to come up with a way that I can get good information to you, to remind you about where we've been, and even to demonstrate what's coming up in the near future. Because I've been stuck here for a couple of sessions now, and I really can't let things hang and slide at this point. We've got to move forward. So just for a moment here, I'm using the file called examples that we started with the other day. And in Excel, every one of these little rectangles, of course, has an address. This is B4, this is A2, and so on. And there's data in Excel, and then there's formulas to get answers. So, very, very simple one that we did the other day. Of course, all of the functions are going to begin with equals. And remember, the equal sign tells Excel that you need it to get involved. Otherwise, you're just typing. And so here, what I want to do is multiply 9 times 9. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to click the first 9 that I want to add up, and that writes the cell address directly in there. We not only see the cell address written in the formula, we also see that cell highlighted. Now, I'm just going to use the simple multiplication symbol, which is the asterisk, if you recall this. I hit Shift 8 on the keyboard, and that creates that little star character called the asterisk. Right? Then I click the other cell that I want to include in this multiplication, and I confirm. All right, so that's not exactly shocking stuff. It's just sort of composing a formula on the fly. That, of course, is a very simple one. And then if we have additional areas of data that we need to use the same formula on, we just rest on the fill handle and we bring it on down. All right, now, second topic. Now I'm going down to the bottom of the sheet here so you don't lose me. And I'm clicking the one that says absolute. Now I'm going to do one more thing here, which is just try to zoom in a little bit, make this a little bit easier for you to see. All right, now you recall probably that the issue with this sheet was something that we call absolute addressing. The problem ordinarily is this. If I click here and I hit equals, and I say, well, I want to use this number, this 543.92, which is the monthly premium per employee, and I want to multiply these cells to the left of me for the various departments and how many employees are in them, right? In the first case, when I confirm it, this is correct. That's the right answer. And then you'll probably remember this, but as I drag the fill handle down, we're getting dead air, zeros. And of course the reason is this. If I'm on this cell and I double click, I can see which cell is being multiplied there, right? The ones that are highlighted down below in the video here. Let me just cancel. But if I go down here, say, and double click, you can see part of the multiplication formula is up here and it's fine. Part of it is a dead empty cell down below. Now this is caused by the fact that when you use the fill handle on a formula, what it does is it adjusts the writing of the formula to adapt to each new row or column that you try to drag it into. So in this case we have a really simple fix for this, but it's not exactly one you would guess on your own. So let me take that out. And the whole thing is very much like what we did the first time, with one tiny exception. All right, I'm going to go equals. I'm going to click the cell that has the value in it that we need. And while I'm there, I'm going to hit F4. Now you have to look at the formula bar ordinarily, like when you've got an answer here, to see this anywhere after, but right at the moment we can see $B, $14. And what that does is it keeps this one cell, B14, as the multiplication cell throughout the rest of this, no matter where the formula gets dragged. So this is absolutely addressing cell B14 as the one to continue using. All right, let me finish out the rest of the formula. So I'm going to go ahead and need the multiplication. I'm going to need the one I'm trying to use, and confirm. Now you see I'm getting the exact right same number as before, but this time when I drag it down, I'm getting the correct numbers for there too, because in each case, it's always using this. All right? So that is absolute addressing, and you simply use it in those situations where you're going to start getting wrong answers unless you nail down part of the formula that mustn't move. Now, we originally did this little bit of this times table here, but I'm going to skip on past it. The next topic that I want to refer to, just to make sure that everybody's kind of up to speed on the things we were doing already, was the budget here, but also using live linking to take data from the budget and put it onto the budget highlights page. So the first thing I'm going to do is just zip through the basic process, auto sum. Yep, I do it too. Auto sum. Now, all we were concerned about here was totals and the profit and loss. Now, remember, profit and loss is this. It is the income minus the expenses. So in this case, it's a really simple subtraction formula. In this cell right here under January, which is B17, I'm just going to go equals. Now here's the total of their income minus the total of their expenses. Right? And I always have to confirm. All right. Now, I'm going to take that formula and I'm going to drag it along here. And then as one kind of simple step here that I really want you to start thinking about, whenever the work we're doing in this class shows numbers that should be money, I'd like you to remember to get them properly dressed for the occasion. So with the area that has the currency inside of it, I go up to the number box on the ribbon, and I'm just going to choose currency, and there it is. Now, we got a little bit of an example here of something that will come up commonly. In this column, N, over here, you'll notice that I'm getting some hashtags that are basically telling me this column isn't wide enough. Now, you can stretch it out by hand, but you can also, if you see right where my cursor is up here, right between the N and the O columns, a quick double click auto sizes it to fit the largest thing in there. All right? Okay, so now we actually have the data that we'll be needing on the budget highlights. And here's this very odd specific thing that we do to include information from one sheet on another. So in this case, we want the total expenses from the other sheet. And so remember, we're not going to put in a formula here that adds or multiplies or whatever. It simply references. It simply shows a particular cell. So in this case, I'm going to go equals. And then I have to go to the sheet in question. I'm down here to budget. And I'm looking for the total expenses. And that is this. N9, I guess, in my line up here. And you can see the formula up on the formula bar. And this will sometimes leave you so confused if you're just sitting here staring at it like, what do I do next? Just remember, you're composing a formula, and now you have to finish it. So we hit that little confirmation, and there we have it. All right, that was total expenses. Let's wrap it up with the rest of these things here. We need total income, so we go equals, budget, total income, confirm. Now we need total profit. Equals, budget, total profit, confirm. It's pretty easy stuff, isn't it? I'm going to get these guys looking like their money as well. And then over here it says 3-year total profit. So in other words, it's looking for the total profit from what we just did, and then the other total profits that are listed here, right? So in this case, in this spot, I mean, I can just hit AutoSum, believe it or not, but AutoSum is doing that I'm not sure what you want thing by not auto-selecting a range. So here's what we do. Here's my first total profit, and I just click it. To include the other numbers that are not just a simple matter of dragging away, but are separate cells, divided by other ones, I have to then hold down the Control key and click them, and so on. All right? So click the first one, then Control click however many others need to be added one by one into the formula. Now I'm going to finish this up. There's my total 3-year profit here. And that's going to do it for this one. I'll be back with another one pretty soon here.